Do they have what it takes?
I like that Digital Chaos have their signature heroes, but the panel really likes the Keeper and the Anti-Mage. Haven't seen too much Anti-Mage from Wings. Seems to be pretty decent here, and I really like the Axe pick.
Yeah, that's how's that actually going to work with the laning phase as well? We were looking to see like if Digital Chaos can get off to a good start in this game. The talk about the mid lane is Weehaw going to have success. Does this draft give you that opening for DC?
I think so. They just need the lanes to go decently. They need Timbersaw to get some sort of level so he can get up those levels of reactive. They need Axe to not pressure the Slark, because Slark is very vulnerable in this line. It's actually going to be a Re-Slark and a Resolution Mirana.
They're switching it around. Resolution going back to its roots as the Mirana. The war is about to begin inside the game, but there's a war right behind us as the DC fans battle up against the Wings fans. It's a problem when you have English casters right next to the Chinese casters, but this type of grand final, the fans will clash.
So let's see what lanes DC are trying to get right now. And they just placed an Observer Ward on the bottom. Will be scouted out by Wings' own Observer Ward. Looks like they're gonna do safe lane move, off lane Resolution, and
the off lane Mirana. Are they gonna really leave it at that?
Like, it's usually Mirana +1, but she's not gonna get anything. And you can't leap out because of mana leak. And Wings, let's see how they're gonna deal with this lane. Now they see Moo going to the bottom lane. They could put, I guess,
I know you got a lot of confidence, man, but yeah, he at least forces out the early storm from Ice.
So now they know that Timber's solo on bottom, and then let's see how they do the lanes. It'll be Shadow plus Keeper, the matchup that they want to make this Timbersaw very underfarmed. Top lane will be the Vengeful Spirit and the Mirana, paired versus Blink.
Yeah, this Axe on Slark mid lane, so Weehaw. See how much you enjoy this when you get that early spin up on Axe and a stout shield.
That is such a tough matchup for Wee. And we should know, he loves that Axe. I remember him back on Falcon Bears. He played that hero all the time.
And you're giving us a history lesson, Merlini. Welcome to the also. Moo hates it. Moon hates it just as much. It's the Mana Leak level 1 from Innocence.
Oh my god, look at Wee's HP.
I don't know how you fight against this. All you could do is try and taunt the Axe away from your lane, drag the creep wave back, and just stay on top of CS. Ellie's gonna have a good time once he hits level 6. In the meantime, DC need good rotation. So Ice, they already sentry word to unblock the camp.
Oh, we already see a Mana Leak coming out on Moo, and he's gonna get his levels down here because it's in a safe lane, but they are actually able to use a pull already, denying almost a full wave from the Timbersaw top lane.
Ice being cancelled. That's 4 sticky napalm charges on the Vengeful Spirit. She can't get away from this. There's no extra help. Zux is going to drop right now. Blink burns him, but Misery looking for some revenge. Ice dropping low. Misery Void in 3 seconds, 2 seconds. He just slow him down, stopping the turn rate to Blink. Continuously going with the sticky napalm charges. While on bottom lane, Moo is trying to 1v2. He's still got Mango available, so if he wants to try and turn and fight this one, the potential is there. While Ice, the arrow connects on top. Resolution combining with Misery. They find the stun, they find the damage, and they find the return kill. But Weehaw is having a nightmare in the mid lane up against Faith Beyond.
Yeah, he's a long way away from this bottle. I wonder if he's going to bring out more regen. Might need it versus Axe.
Well, they do what they did before. Bring Misery into the mid lane, try and help zone out this Axe. Weehaw's doing some early damage. The call's already gone off.
But it's a melee hero.
Rotate for the Void. Yeah, what are you going to do? Orb of Venom early on.
No, you don't want him to spin on you. Night Stalker has a lot of regen, a lot of armor, but not going to help too much versus the counter Helix Innocence. Trying to deal with Moo. Moo still has a lot of HP. Not quite level 3, but Shadow, top of the CS charts right now with a healthy 12.
Definitely gonna be happy with that. Black said if you can get an image farm, Weehaw trouble in mid lane. Dropping low, he's got Dark Pact available. He's burning out at the moment. Into the tree line, Faith has to get caught in by the creep wave. The attack from the tower. It may not be enough damage, it won't be. He'll get away. The TP's on the way from Resolution. He'll have to go for a blind arrow. Leaps over. Faith turns around. Saw it coming from a mile away. Meanwhile, Timbersaw. He actually got a kill on the Keeper of the Light on the bottom lane with the help of Misery.
Yeah, I'm glad to see that it's not the Iron Talon for Misery. They really need him to fulfill that ogre-ish role.
just to roam around.
Yeah.
How do you build it from there? Like, are you looking for Faith Boots? You look to use your spells as the damage with Arcanes? As Night Stalker?
I think you want to play him as a vision counter. The draft panel mentioned it. You want to limit the Bat Rider initiation abilities. You want to keep the Keeper Light during Ags. You don't want him to be able to see anything, especially that flying vision. So eventually they might need an Iron Talon on him, also because it's really good with the gem. But they need to secure the lanes first. And I think Timbersaw had like 2 CS not that long ago. Now he's up to 6, but nothing compared to Shadows. You don't want this AM to be free farming like this.
Well, Moo's going to rely on basic attacks to get the kills, can't use Whirling Death. Already burnt the Mango, and Shadow keeps burning him dry. Even with only 1 point up in the mana break, it was still enough to drag him down in combination with the mana leak.
And they moved Resolution to the mid lane. The Slark versus Axmaster was just a disaster to begin with, and they have to get some farm.
Yeah, this seems to be a lot better having Weeha up against the Bat Rider. It's kind of what you wanted to have, but now Ice actually takes up the lane because Blink's gone jungle. This actually isn't a bad time for Wings because this is when they wanted to send the Bat Rider into the jungle.
A little bit unlucky with the golem spawns. I wonder what building he's going to go for this game. Typically versus the event, we see drums.
Moo's in a lot of trouble. Mana Leak gives you an instant stun. Shadow can keep attacking him. There's no Mana Void available to kill off Moo, so no advantage for that on Shadow. But it does keep Moo out of the lane. Like, you know, it's a sad day when also, like, Moo has to go for the early Sage's Mask on the Timber. And just have some level of regen.
So now Night Stalker can start doing his thing. It's nighttime. The Observer Ward in mid just fell, and Misery's just looking for any easy junglers. Luckily for Wings, Blink's already back in base. Misery will not find an easy kill. Also just scouting for stacks. Timbersaw can take that very easily once he hits level 6.
Blink will show himself in top lane a bit, but it's the mid lane where Misery is running in. The arrow well off target from Resolution. Too early, didn't use the Void, so the call will arrive from Faith, giving him a lot of armor. And Misery, the spins are hurting! The Culling Blade comes down onto the head of the Night Stalker.
Looks like they have a solution to the Misery roam in the mid lane. That leaves him with a melee hero. No chance of killing that axe. Saksa perhaps trying to get a kill. He does have the infused raindrop though, very difficult to burst down.
Just seemed a little overconfident to think he can go with 2 melees to kill off that mid-axe after the amount of farm that he's got.
Yeah. You'd have to leap in, but I don't think you want to leap in versus that.
Yeah.
And he's over-leveled right now, level 7 on that axe.
Oh. Sux is moving over. Ice in a vulnerable position and get actually sandwiched 3 ways, but he'll take the 4th way. Okay, the arrow flies just out of range of the regeneration rune, which Resolution will take. Ice killed by the Starfall. Resolution wasting no mana with that, had the regen rune going the whole time. So DC finally catch a break, killing off the roaming ET, but they still have that problem. Faith Beyond's going to get really big on this axe.
And Anti-Mage, they're keeping the supports busy, which is really important for them. Night Stalker, not enough levels in Crippling Spear, but he will try and pick up some as he go for Blink.
Top lane.
Firefly just used.
Yep, and they know it. They're waiting for it to wear off. They also know that Weeha can shut it himself into this fight. Now the smoke's going to break Blink. He's still got another 2 seconds left on that Firefly. He'll hit the ground now, but he gets back in range of his tier 1 tower.
So much wasted time for DC. That's a better part of nighttime already down.
Moo's going to get stunned up. He's yeah, it's a level 1 mana void.
And against raindrops. But Faith is in from behind. They have a soul ring in case he wants a soul ring TP out.
They revealed themselves. They came in too close to the creep wave. So the surprise is blown. Misery is chasing down Blink up in the dire jungle. Just trying to keep him out of the lane. He's still got that extra nighttime move to speed for the moment. It's only 1 hour left of nighttime. Oh, sorry, 3 hours left of Dota 2 nighttime. Depending on how you want to clock it.
What's the conversion here, Toby?
In that case, they have 40 seconds-ish. And then it's over. And that's when Wings is prepping for mid lane. Faith's already started up with a call. Innocence moves over. Mana Leak, that's a level 2 Mana Leak as well on Innocence. Resolution will just hold his ground.
Now they're finally getting some farm on Wii and Resolution both, so that's decent. However, Misery's reign is going to end as nighttime comes to a halt.
That's a really nice Observer Ward. That might let Resolution have enough information that he can just throw this up, connect perfectly on the Blink, and Weeha, the damage output's there, even though he's under the Firefly. He'll walk out of range of Dire Vision, and he'll regen up pretty quickly. So good kill for Digital Chaos.
Nice, that was with the tail end of Nighttime. Blink not really being too careful, but he is building a drums for him, so no loss in gold as he purchases the remainder of his bracer.
It's the rotations which came after that from Wings. Like, Shadow is still having a fantastic time as the enemy mage on bottom lane, almost at the same net worth as Resolution is at the moment. But it's the fact that Moo can farm underneath the bottom tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they need to get the blink up on Axe, and then they can start involving the Bat Rider.
Rotate the enemy to the top lane, magic miss, wow, Mile, and Wave of Terror gets away.
It looks like they're smoked up. They do have vision of the Bat Rider, so they probably won't expect this. Wii is really low, but without the blink dagger on the Axe, this is going to be extremely tough. Actually, he has no pounce.
Yeah, he's got Shadow Dance, however, but the stop, the stun, the magic missile from Zuxco will be able to help out enough. Slark, Pound still on cooldown for 4 more seconds, but Moonlight Shadow from Resolution will allow DC to make a break to the tree line. Weeha. Okay, it looked like he was thinking of turning around and going for another opening. Shadow is fairly low, but his bottom lane, Innocence, silenced up, the Moo whirling, deaths him down. Faith looking for a revenge, but his top lane where they're about to initiate onto Shadow with the Dark Pact, the Magic Missile. The stop will force them to split, but back on bottom lane. Faith moving back to his own tier 1 tower. Moo body blocking it up. The silence is there. Whirling death, Altitude Shark from Timber Chain. No! The Moo goes too far to the side. The enemy mage got a revenge kill in the top lane in the meantime. He'll lose his life to the Slark. One charges galore going off to make this work, but it ends up being a 1-for-1 trade call for support.
He had to blink in to finish off the Vengeful Spirit, and that left him vulnerable to the Slark and his pounce. Whew. Moo almost getting a kill right there.
I think they want to go again. This would be so much easier for Moo if it was nighttime, because their Misery's voids would be so much more effective. Same with the Crippling Fear. Instead, Moo having to do a lot of the work himself and missing one of those abilities cost them an easy kill.
And another kill rune going Resolution's way. Much more farm than we was in the last game.
This is around the same time as Moo normally likes to creep, skip it out. But that's why Resolution with an Invis room smokes him behind the tower. It won't be that obvious to Wings if Moo does get him behind the tower. He's got 4 points up in reactive armor, so he's very happy sitting back here. 36 HP a second coming back into him.
They're expecting the Keeper to be here, but he is nowhere to be found. They really need the Blink Dagger on Axe. Still working on it, 200 gold away. And just, they need so much time in the jungle because of the Bat Rider and the Axe. Slark getting close to his mobility item. Let's see, Blink and Shadow Blade both pretty good this game. I like Shadow Blade a little bit more so he can scout out the Keeper light, but maybe he doesn't need it because he has Night Stalker to give him vision.
Might also be a little bit scared once Blink picks up 1, the Blink, and 2, the gem. With the Flying Vision, Shadow Blade may not be the greatest item for him.
Ooh.
Moves away.
Wings probably expecting that they have that Obzor that was just pointed out right there. How did he see me?
He's a little too deep.
Just taking it easy until nighttime. They can even part with darkness right now if they want to, so.
It's kind of funny, like, you're taking it easy on DC, but there's still, like, they repaired all the damage the Wings did early on. It was a 2k deficit in golden experience, and now that's changed around.
Is that enough, though? Again?
Oh, Fade to Blink. Gets a call on Resolution. Coming Blade to Marvel with the last 2. Resolution will die here. No way survival. No! Lives! Can he TP out? No, he's up to the tree line. They can see him. He will take a fall. He had a little bit more time to buy an item. But that Culling Blade, fraction of a second too early thanks to the stick charges. Well, too late.
Those creeps helping out. Mirana there not getting sent, but she did buy her blade, so halfway to her axe. Not a big deal, and that was a blink reveal for Faith.
Well, bottom lane, Ice. They were looking for a small opening. Zuxo as well as Moo together, but they couldn't find one on Ice. He was back far enough behind the tower.
Oh wow, we already have the Shadow Blade. That's very good timing considering how far the early game was. Misery.
Yeah, they found him out. They push him back. And Misery will burn or will he? He can't get to the other side of the tree line. But maybe with Bat Rider. Caught out. The ET split is coming in. DC needs to split. Arrow is not available for the moment. Chakram doesn't actually reach up to Wings. But Weeha is in. And he's looking for the Bat Rider. The perfect leash. Bat Rider comes down to the ground. The Firefly will wear off. And so will all of his life phase. A little bit too deep himself. The Chakra flies out. And now it's just fight after fight. Maybe going the way here for DC. Moo goes in deep. Reactive armor charges don't exist for him. And his mana pool is also quite low.
Yeah, they have to be careful for the AM rotation. If Moo, he's actually really low on mana. He's 700 deficit right now.
Oh, but some good pickoffs from DC. Originally, like, thought, oh, Misery goes down, there's gonna be no trade-off, but DC brought everybody so quickly for that tier 1.
Wings also, they didn't have a reliable way to keep people asleep during an Echo Stomp. The Firefly woke them up. One really nice play that I liked from Wings yesterday is they turned off Split Shot during the Echo Stomp so that no one woke up. Winter mentioned that to me yesterday, but this time you can't stop Firefly.
Resolution trying to play for some kind of execution on the mid lane. This right underneath an Observer Ward, and then Coddle does his thing. For Coddle, who bypasses his ultimate in order to get 3 points up in mana leak. But it does such a good job against both Mirana and Timber. Even Night Stalker. Very low mana pool. Always like to have high movement speed. Weeha staring down the Anti-Mage. He moves out.
Really wants this creep. One level of Crippling Fear should be more than enough to kill him. He's so close to his battle, yeah. Oh, now they see Soxa. They know something's up. And Soxa wanted to place up the Observer Ward right there, but maybe a little bit too obvious with that movement.
Looks like Wee's rotating. Nope, he's actually just going to pick up the rune and head back to mid lane, so DC.
Wee looking for a weak support, like to keep her light. He is scouted out.
Yeah, where is that target? Instead he finds, well, not the target he wants. He found ET. Cole pulls him back out over the chakra, flies forward. ET, not enough damage to kill him until the Timber Chamber move connects. ET splitter well off the mark. And they look for more. The courier into the tree lines. Blink kept out by Resolution as he's finally rotated up from the mid, but Wings fighting back behind the T1 tower. Still on the 15 seconds till he's up. That arrow flies. 5 seconds on the Axby. Pounces over the trees and in comes Move! They have the damage! Wings over their own tier 1 tower will be slaughtered. Shadow has a blink of bubble. They need more done them the damage. Shadow blinked up, but the owner's killing him off. Shadow will die here. Nothing will stop this. Even the flame break can't find the space. Huge fight for DC.
We is dissecting them with the Shadow Blade. They cannot feel safe anywhere. Keeper Light just like to stand there, defend towers, but when you wrap around behind like that with no vision, it is impossible to defend that. And this is when you still have the super fragile Angel. He was so close to his Battle Fury. Arrow connects on Faith Beyond. That's the word go for Timbersaw.
And not only will this set the Anti-Mage back with his Battle Fury, it also makes his jungle a little bit riskier to be in. They've already been committing mass amounts of Observers and Sentries, Wings, to protect their jungle, but it's just not the dream for him, and now Wee's going to find another target down to Ice. He's still got Noel, okay, the Soul Essence needs a little bit more. Dark Pact into the Shadow Dance. Ice puts the Spirit down, but now Misery comes over and also Move! From left field he arrives! The bigger they are, the harder they chop. As Blink, making a break for his tier 2 tower, supports the neighborhood in the form of Innocence. But yet again, another kill going the way of DC. They now hold 3 out of the top 4 net worths in the field.
The Axe's momentum has slowed down significantly too after dying so many times. Timbersaw, one of the dream heroes that you want to fight against, especially before the Blade Mail from him. And it just always feels like Wings need one more item. First, the Battle Fury on Anti-Mage. Now they need like a Blink on the Bat Rider, and then the Blade Mail on the Axe. And this is just not the way that they typically fight. Usually they're the aggressors, pressuring DC as they try and get their key items. But that is almost a Scepter on Mirana.
Yeah, there's a Scepter on Mirana coming. The Bloodstone finishes over on Moo. Key item now arriving for Wings, but they would have liked that during the last fight. The Bat Rider with a Blink Dagger. Also, not a great thing, the fact that Blink was not even involved in that engagement on the tier 1 tower. Because of the late timing of Resolution rotating up, he kept the Bat Rider out.
They also don't really want to fight during nighttime, but with Darkness, you only have like 3 minutes out of 8 that you can really take a fight. Until Anti-Mage is ready, but that's still quite some time.
Wings doing what they always do. You pick up a Blink Dagger, you smoke and gank. The Slark's already back behind the tower. Axe does have the blink if he blinks into the trees.
Venge is also sitting right behind Wee, just in case there's a swap.
That'll be an easy save. That actually would cause a couple of problems if Axe wants to chase it down further, but it's Resolution.
They're expecting
on the end of that double damage, and Resolution's got to get the hell out of here right now. If he leaves, however, the Blink Blast already catches him. The ET splitter, Resolution needs more life. 15 one charges, he can't get them off in time.
Wow, what an excellent use by
Timber.
Scan.
Trouble. He got mana leak. The Moon trying to stand his ground. Now the swap. Well, Blinding Light will push him back. Moon almost out of mana. You still have swap up for the Vengeful Spirit, pulling the axe back in close range to the tower as Misery runs in. But the Storm from ET will slip fine. But in comes Weeha. Where's the damage? Too much on him. Face misses the call. But Weeha evidences himself away to safety. The Dire Sentry was down from Wings, so they knew exactly what they're fighting up against. But DC hold their tier 1 tower. They love doing this. Mass committal to ensure not a single building drops.
Work. But maybe too much committal on the mid lane. They used a scan behind the tower to see if it was a trap going on Wii. And then it scanned red. They read it perfectly. Okay, there's probably no one behind Mirana. And DC probably should have called for him to get closer to that T1 because he was the only vulnerable hero in Wings. Taking another smoke. Still darkness up though. Only for about a few more seconds.
They don't have mana for Lasso. That Rider is very dry coming into this fight. Still at 10 seconds till the Lasso comes off cooldown. If they can get him that bottom rune like
Resolution, he just TP'd down bottom. To find him, it looks like.
Yeah, they really want him. He's hiding in the trees. They may know the smoke will break. There's your flank call. This time DC, one of as many TPs available. Resolution tries to leap against Culling Blade at mid-flight. The TP did complete, so Mu is back behind the tower. This is not a great position for him. That mana leak lasts forever, allowing Faith to blink and call again. Move. Highest reactive armor charge are kicking up, but Assault's coming too late. So he has to commit suicide in the tier 1 tower.
Wow, so much for Resolution getting his axe at a timely clip. 2 consecutive deaths with the swift movement from Wings. That's just not what you expect. It's like, oh, it's nighttime darkness. They're not going to smoke. They're not going to fight into us. And now they will lose control of their jungle, and Shadow is free up to farm up some more.
Yeah, this actually opens up the Radiant jungle if he wants to go into that. He also has a couple of Ancient stacks prepared. But love his Vlad before he does it, and that's what's coming on the courier.
They need to do Roche, I think, before Night Stalker gets his axe. He's only 1,100 gold away, but
it's a really nice stack for Shadow. And with this movement out, it's a Black Dragon. It actually moves out far enough. Faith
they're
also
smoking
this move.
They pinged out. They want to go over there.
Well, the Observer Ward, it doesn't fully see this. It just knows that they're there. The line being drawn out by Misery is one to go straight down mid lane. So unless they want to flank around, this isn't really going to work for them. And the axe, now Slark runs in. There is a sentry ward. The attack comes on the axe and the call. Maybe with the Lasso, Mook gets control, but Fabian already down. Weeha, able to jump away of the splitter, not finding a kill. Not to mention, Blink very, very low on life. He might try and go in again as Misery. They move forward to Ice, Stomps available. Mana leak with the Blinding Light, forcing back DC a little bit. On a Titan, can't get the stomp off. Moo is there for the double kill. The arrows fly forward as well. Who's it going to connect on? Nobody. Innocence and Shadow. Back to their tier 3 tower.
They lose that Obzord around it. At least they didn't lose their gem. That Rider was so close to dying.
He doesn't have Shadow Dance, but he has an Echo Saber and 5 still essence shifted. So he'd love a target. The best one he's got is the Anti-Mage on the tier 2. But with Innocence, he could have walked down the stairs to die.
Yeah, he can't solo go Anti-Mage. Maybe like a really nice swamp or an arrow can connect onto him.
Anti-Mage reads it perfectly anyway. Shadow blinks into the tree line and then TP's home. Getting close to finishing up his Yasha. With Mana Silence, that Magic Missile is going to be a lot more difficult to connect on. Also breaks free of the silence of the Night Stalker and potentially dodge arrow.
Anti-Mage getting pretty close to fighting shape as he works on his Yasha. Really need that Mantis so he doesn't die to the Night Stalker. Crippling Fear.
Night Stalker in the middle of the fight. Axe going to miss out on the call. And now in comes Moo. He's looking for an Innocence in the back line. There's not from Ice to slow down this fight. Not the greatest thing when you want Misery running. And Innocence dying in the tree lines. Moo finding yet another kill. Ever since he got that Bloodstone, he's triggered his suicide back up to 11 charges. I'm not quite certain what Resolution's waiting for. He's just sitting in the middle lane. With a great way to arrive the call from Faith the axe. Oh, Bad Rider gets hit by the arrow. The splitter is good, but then the leap into double star fall. The magical damage is too much for Wing. Moo will survive. He was the one they wanted, and it's Weeha who gets the double kill.
And Gem now goes away of Night Stalker. He almost has his axe and the gem complete. This is disastrous for
Wee's hunting
Wing.
the kill. Wee's actually hunting the kill. He walks up the high ground out of the tier 3 towers. He wants Ice Side. The call, the silence is there from Misery. The army soaked up by the freeway, but it doesn't matter. Ice Side is already down. They jump forward aggressively. But this will definitely open up and make sure this tier 2 tower goes the way of DC. No denial attempt. Slark not again.
They just did not have enough vision around that area. They needed more ops, needed more sentries. They got caught off guard by the Slark last time.
You did this once before. Now he wants Innocence to pounce forward, doesn't get the leash, so this won't work. He'll Shadow Dance away. That TP aggressively coming outside the base. Faith behind, very quick on the blink. The arrow actually passing him before the TP was completed.
And another gold lead goes away with DC, just 5,000. But with his Ags coming out, I don't think Wings are going to have that much opportunity to make use of their blink daggers to get clean initiations on DC.
It's kind of a nightmare as well for the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
Like, I know Innocence is a very long way away from having an Aghanim Scepter, but even if he does get one, he'll never have the buff ups just because it's always going to be nighttime.
They need a big mana void in one of these fights, and they have to play carefully. Only 20 seconds left of nighttime. Scan hits red. They know that DC's around. They've been really good with their scans this game.
I'm actually looking for the Obs Ward, D Ward. But because that gem's on the Night Stalker, nothing's going to stay up for Wings. Those clever little wards we saw Wings planting in the earlier games, it doesn't work now. With unobstructed vision from the Night Stalker and the gem, and the only upside is the fact that the gem True Sight vision isn't the same as the Aghanims, but they just still see so much. And Wings, they hide next to the Secret Shop right on top of a Radiant Observer Ward. DC know it, but then again, the Sentry Ward just got planted by Wings. They're not even sticking around to do the D Ward. They understand that if they hang around too long, they're going to lose too much. The chicken flies in, it's got the Manasar recipe, eyesight, taken down Wings. They just didn't know where to go. They'll actually die. 2 heroes down. They may find more. The Courier will survive back over to the tier 3 tower. But it's Moo who's on the charge. The Yule's on the Bat Rider. He'll force staff down. Start his TP. The Yule's already been committed, so there's no extra stun from Moo. Now Shadow, he has to start doing the creep skip. We saw Fear attempt something similar. Just keep that pressure up. Okay, he's not even doing that. He's too fearful.
They want Roche. They want a DC to push top and then take Roche.
Well, the arrow misses, but we half tracks. He finds Blink, the pounce forward. Faith gets the call off. You still got a decent amount of essence shifted in Faith. The Blade Mail will protect him. Now has 2. They pull Wee in, but he already triggered the Dark Pack. Breaking free the Mana Void. Shadow won't be enough. The swap out the Weeha. Pull back in range of Innocence Mana Link. A 1-for-1 trade-off for now. The Culling Blade ensures the kill. The move, Timber Chain forward. There was only 1 tree there for him to work. Doesn't need range of 2 sentries, but the arrow from Resolution connects on Anti-Mage. Will there be enough damage? He'll blink himself out to safety. DC, not that healthy. Again, this Mana Leak being a pain in the butt. But that's why Yule Scepter up. Timber Chain cancels. A very short one anyway, but Misery moves over. No nighttime available. He's also got the gem. Wings, they'll follow this one to the end of the earth. The Spirit's on top. The Split of Misery's got nowhere to go. Stunned up by the Mana Leak. They'll give the gem over to actually no Resolution. I thought they might have done a handoff. Doesn't happen. A move. Dying to Wings. The blink. Oh, it gets interrupted. Yule Scepter. He had to take off the burn effect of that flame break up to the trees, but he knows he's dead. Great chase by Wings.
What a flame break right there. Windsor was skeptical that they could pull it off.
Well, this still hasn't happened yet. DC is still leading. Even though that graph is going to start to dip down, they were over 8,000 advantage in golden experience.
Oh, I was just talking about the flame break on the Timber Chain. It's a pretty hard one to pull off.
All right, Mando is finally in for Shadow.
It's only during daytime. With daytime and without darkness, they can take pretty good fights, but they just lack so much vision. Finally, they get the gem returned to them, though. The rightful owner on the Bat Rider.
So he has that good flying vision. Wings, they're attempting this, but it's a little obvious when that Observer Ward from DC.
They have to use darkness, though, to see Roche, and as soon as darkness pops, they're going to back out. But is we strong enough to take down Roche? I don't think so. Not without a Scotty.
He needs that extra life. But he also used Mill as a punching bag last time they did Roshan. But that reactive armor.
They need Lotus ASAP for the Mana Leak. Especially because he's maxed it over Illuminate.
Well, they keep using Yule Scepters to dispel it.
Yeah. It just, you're stuck there, right?
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You just have to stay.
Like a Stomp or Charge Up Illuminate, an Axe Call, like any of those spells can catch you out after. With Lotus Orb, you're still free to run around and dodge these AoE spells from Wings.
It's a shame you don't have like what Anti-Mage has. Take 1 step, then blink max, and you can avoid the mana leak out. Instead, it's like Timber Chain and Leap.
So they saw Mirana TP over to the left side, and she was really low on mana, and they might look for this small window to take down Roche.
Well, Resolution has gone all the way back to base because he was low on that mana. But still, does Wings have enough damage? The Animage?
Oh, he has boost travel. Oh, okay, never mind. Still a long ways for his cooldown.
Well, he can jump down the bottom creep wave and push that in. Roshan's not really down that far, only at 9k at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they can do this right now. They have no damage aside from anti-mage, but it's only at half HP.
Here comes Misery, and that true sight. It goes inside the pit. They understand what's happening.
They have the observer ward
He's
inside,
happy to
though.
jump out, but he actually gets the blink call over on the Misery. So the jump out, the easy splitter. They really want to get that kill, and they got it. The Vengeful Spirit trying to swap him out. The Moonlight Shadow won't do enough. The Axe finds the kill. Boots a really good damage over the Chakram, but it's just the last boost. Turn goes from Wings. They catch out the slot. They get 3 down there. They can finish what they started. The death of Roshan.
This observer ward saw that Night Stalker. That swap just crushed them as 2 heroes got hit by the Earth Splitter. And even Slark got caught by the Echo Stomp, and no chance for him Dark Hacking. He got blasted right out of it, and that's going to be a free Roche for Wings. Faith Beyond continues to deliver on his initiations.
As the dream for Wings, if they can keep it going, the Aegis Immortal will give them extra incentive to take more aggressive fights. Said Faith just having a fantastic time with 2.4k gold in the bank. His next item choice is just around the corner.
Even BKBs won't really save them from the Wings lineup. Minus armor from another Titan, a lot of physical damage even from Earth Splitter, pure damage from Axe. I'm not really sure how they itemize here. They need to be able to kill the anti-mage at some point, though. Right now, like Night Stalker, Crippling Fear, going to be dispelled by the Manta style. Mirana is unreliable, so maybe I would like to see Basher Echo Save or Basher Abyssal, something like that, so they can keep him in check.
Well, you got the Basher on Shadow. He just bought it, so looking for his control item next. Sucks up, really big trouble for him. Mana leaked, last 2, they just keep draining him dry, and he will die in the river.
It's a really big problem when Wings can get aggressive during nighttime. They aren't scared anymore.
Yeah, but DC definitely are. They just try and keep the split push going. We are down the bottom lane, but Wings, they understand the objectives.
They split push earlier with an Ursa and Slark. This game should be a lot easier with a Mirana and the Slark in case they want to go that route, but then you have the ticking time bomb and the anti-mage, who with Abyssal can easily crush any of DC's cores.
He's so far ahead as well, like sitting at 18,000 net worth. The nearest to him is 12.5k over on the Mirana.
Yeah, they went for the break on the Slark. He has a Silver Edge, and that combined with like a double Starfall from Mirana can maybe burst him down, but now that he has Aegis, he has no fear.
The advantage for DC is the fact the Axe hasn't spent his money, still holding on to 3.7k on the Axe.
I think probably BKB. They don't really have any BKB at this point. Slark, kinda, but he doesn't do any physical damage at the moment. I think just go mass BKB so you can team fight them at will.
Wings systematically taking out towers. They'll see Faith thanks to Misery's vision. They do have a new gem purchased by Moo, so putting the Timber Saw back a little bit. There's Shadow. It's getting caught in the Chakram, but they're perfectly alright.
A bold build coming up from Elder Titan as he swings home to try to pick up the rest of his Dagon.
Okay, hello. He's going to actually be a courier as well. Recalled back in. He brings the BKB of Faith Beyond.
Oh, they're not going to see this coming.
Oh, they are not. DC, like at least they might be able to see something coming in. One, if this arrow can connect, which you won't be able to.
Oh,
or
no.
2, if you can get the Night Stalker close enough, but that's also been a problem. Boom, but hey! Chains forward, blinks away.
Shadow's Abyssal Blade is also coming on the chicken. It's at the secret shop right now. Vanguard and Recipe. Wings feeling really good with his Aegis.
This next defense from DC, it has to work. The arrow, 5 seconds over on the Axe. Resolution jumps in. The double Starfall damage, they'll bring down the Axe. So finally getting a small break, but Wings have rotated over the swap, instantly canceling out the lasso. Move! You damn it! Portal is gone! Eyesight fight, got him in a moment. Mirana blinks forward. They've got the damage. This can be the fight. We leaping forward. The BKBs break back rider free. Moves still in the neighborhood. Shadow. There's your Abyssal Blade. The Mana Void on the Resolution. Doing heavy work with the Chakram doing more of it. Shadow is burning inside of it. The Aegis Immortal will trigger. Blinkers away on low light. Do they have enough to kill the anti-Marga once again? He'll blink out. Moostic's with him. You'll step the up. Blink off cooldown in 1 second time. Now in comes Blink himself. Flame break, pushing DC away. This will give Shadow just enough space to escape.
Wow, that could have been so much worse for them. Looks like Batrider was also able to take down Mirana in the back line. She was so low after that Mana Void. I don't know if she was the prime target for that. It looked like Moo was pretty low, but in the heat of the moment, it looked like Mirana almost killed her entire team.
I think you should still be scared of that Mirana at all times, having that passive, like, big damage, chasing everything.
I'll take that.
Weeha's got a lot of money too. Where does he go next with 4.1k gold? Is this the time where, like, does BKB even help the Slark, or does he look for a more controlling and damage dealing item?
I don't know. It's hard to say with the
he answered anyway. He got the Asher.
Basher's better versus the AM, who's causing the most problems, but BKB is like a free kill on Batrider and or Keeper.
Wings is coming down. They're looking for a kill on Moo. Almost everyone's here apart from the Mirana. She does have BTs, but it can only TP the tier 2 tower. Now Connor, 2-3. Can't get the force hit. The Shark will do the work. Back forward with the Abyssal. The arrow. It connects on Shadow. 5 seconds done. The ET splitter. It's not enough damage yet. Misery still tanking through all of this. The Mana Void. He wants Misery dead with the Moonlight Shadow. They don't have the vision at the moment. Moo will go back into the Moonlight Shadow too. Timber Chase. 1 second. This will bring him back in range of the tower. Unless they want to fight. Arrows off cooldown. Blink forward. The arrow will miss. We are waiting. The ninja out from the trees. Faith triggers the blade mail as well as the BKB to pounce forward. Faith getting caught in the back of that. We are explodes the Mana Void. Last thing for the rest of DC. There's worth the range for it, but the Storm forward from my side can go for the Storm. No real way to get away from this one, especially when he gets the blade down by the anime. Moo can't chain away. He'll Yule Scepter up. The Blink Dagger won't be up cooldown in time, so he just has a suicide when he hits the ground. The Blink goes for more, burning up the Vengeful Spirit with the Firefly.
Okay, it is confirmed. Shadow can bash on command. What was that? Right on the Timber Chain, right as Slark was about to escape. And I talked about it, the Basher versus BKB. BKB, you would really love to have it for that fight.
But it was the Abyssal as well. That's the thing that does the work for him. That's how you make RNG, actual command, digital chaos. Well, they had a good defense last time. Wings tried to go high ground. Now they're down a couple of men. The difference about 3k swinging both ways. Arrow hoping to create a little bit of time, but it goes between all of Wings as they attack into the tier 3 tower, trying to get that one step closer to the Aegis. As now Kimber locked down the double starfall, but Moo is too low. He has 5 Echo Bubble. They're culling bladed out. Slark up 4 seconds until he's alive. No fortification. Arrow, it doesn't connect. Innocence, the horse tail doesn't catch it. The swap out. Sakto again, sacrificing himself just to make sure they can get that double damage out from the Starfall of Resolution. Good stop, Moo, Yule's up in towards the air. He has a way to get out thanks to Moonlight Shadow. They can play the invis game. Shadow going in very, very deep. Gets the stun over on Misery, but Weeha returns with a bash of his own. And now with a jump out, Resolution leaves the tree line. He is out of mana. He can't get out of this one. He can blink back into the fight in just a moment. Face the end, so low. Where's the damage from DC? Moo, it's a dive back for him. Shadow's looking for the kill. They found Weeha. The bash control dead. Buyback is available for him though, and he'll need to use it. The rest of DC are dying out in front of their own tier 3 tower. Resolution back into the fight with a Culling Blade. Kills off the Night Stalker, giving Wings the pump up they need to go inside. They look for the last 2 and they've got it. It's a Slug. Arrow flies in. There'll be a 5-second stun over on Blink. But Wings, they brought down the melee rack. Shadow, Mana Styles out. Weeha has to bounce himself out of this one. Got bashed up, but DC, they will lose their range as well as Wings have done the damage.
Oh my goodness, Anti-Mage is so stacked at this point. Wings' team fight is just incredible at that point. That wasn't even like the biggest Mana Void that I saw. I thought he was going to cast it on Resolution there, but Slark can't man fight at this point. How does he go toe-to-toe with his Anti-Mage?
I like this from Wee. He needs to create space, and he's looking over towards Faith Bian. He moves up to the side shop. Shadow's here. Weeha initiates. He needs to kill and get the hell out. One more attack, but he has to bail. 23 HP. Now Weeha. He forced the issue too hard. Will he go down? Yes, he will. 90 seconds. The door has been opened by Weeha's aggressiveness and Wings. It is a landslide as the graphs drop. Can DC hold?
This is their darkest hour, and not in a good way as they have the Night Stalker, but this is becoming so grim for them. We just desperate to do something to save his team. But now he has no buyback. Wings all assembling down the mid line.
Here they come, Wings. 52 seconds is the window. And they're going to try and break DC's glass. The blink in the lasso. Misery instantly swap back out again. Shadow's in pretty deep, but he'll come over. Sucks are already on the sidelines. Misery now he's being controlled. Discipline is still up. Misery's gone. The Culling Blade, that could be it right now. DC on the ropes has Wings. They look towards the mid-ranks. Bring down the tier 3 tower. Move, trying to slow it up with a chakram. Resolution out of arrows and also out of teammates. DC, they have Slark up in 20. They'll have one more opportunity, and that's to defend the tier 3 racks on top. There it is. The mid. The melee is down. Range racks will follow. Wings. Do they play safe? Do they back it up? No! In they go! Resolution! Welcome back and goodbye! You have buyback available, and here comes the push. This is the defense now. DC, you either hold or you die. As Wings, they rip down the tier 3 tower. Weehaw wants to go out through the back lines and attack. Now the lasso. They found Doctor. Weehaw ripped apart. The buyback. It won't be enough. So game of play. Wings are your international 2016 champions. Terrific display of Dota. You did enough to be passing the group stages, but only losing games to GC in total throughout the entire playoff. One to Techies, one with the punch. And now they topple DC in a 3-1 victory here in Key Arena.
Black has to be happy that Anti-Mage is going to be plastered there for a full year.
And we can be as happy as that as Slack's not being on the Aegis. Terrific battle.